We are live. Welcome everybody. We are live. This is Detox Q&A, and today, dang, I didn't add my topic. Oh well, we're going to keep rolling. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about salt. Why? Well, we don't even have to say why, but salt is not the reason why your blood pressure is high, okay? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Salt is not the reason why your blood pressure is high. Yes, you need to stay away from salt, but salt is not the reason why your blood pressure is high. So I'm going to break that down for you guys today so that we can just go ahead and clear the air and you guys can be well educated on what is really happening and why salt is not the problem. So no, you can't have an excess of salt if you have high blood pressure. That's definitely true. But we need to understand the mechanisms that's happening inside the body that is causing salt to be a problem. Because salt, you're having a problem with salt retention. That's actually what's happening. You're reabsorbing the salt and then holding on to it. And that's why any additional salt is a problem. So the salt is not actually causing a problem. What's the problem is going to be called visceral fat. Have you ever heard of that? Visceral fat? That is actually going to be the hard fat. If you have a tummy, you got a little fat. Everybody got a little fat, or not everybody, but most people. I got a little fat on my tummy, and it's soft fat. You know, I'm not gonna show y'all my stomach, but it is soft fat on my stomach. But squeeze your stomach. Is it hard fat? That hard fat that kind of stays in that shape, or is it soft fat? Is it soft fat? Okay, so if it's that hard fat, that's gonna be visceral fat. So that's fat that actually is deposited on the backside of the muscle. Okay, that's the fat that leads to problems like diabetes and high blood pressure. That's the problem. But how does the visceral fat get there? Okay, how does it get there? Because visceral fat, because it's produced on the backside of the muscle, it is not in reach of blood vessels. There are no blood vessels that are going back there. It's oxygen deprived. That is an oxygen deprived environment in your body in particular. So people talk about, oh, you're oxygen deprived, but we're actually talking about the exact thing that is oxygen deprived in your body that's happening, that's causing these problems. We're going to break that down right now. Okay, so what's happening is that you are having an excess of a certain thing in your diet. Okay, you're eating too much of something. So I'm gonna break it down from the top so that I'm not jumping all over. So carrying a high amount of visceral fat, okay, which is associated with insulin resistance. Okay, so all the doctors, everybody knows in the medical industry that having a lot of visceral fat, a lot of laymen know, regular people know that having a high amount of fat leads to diabetes, right? We all know that. Okay, so, but did you know that the visceral fat in particular is what's leading to the insulin resistance? That's the hard fat, okay? And it's also leading to high blood pressure. It's not just leading to diabetes, it's the visceral fat that is leading to the high blood pressure. That's why your blood pressure is high, because of the fat. They're telling you it's the salt, but it's not salt. It is the visceral fat. We're gonna break this down right now, okay? So visceral fat secretes a protein. Okay, this protein is called RBP4. That's retinol binding protein 4. Okay, so when it secretes this protein is shown to increase your resistance to insulin. Now, we're going to break that down even more. Okay, because diabetes, high blood pressure, there's so many people have it, but it's so preventable and it's so reversible and it's easy to reverse. Okay, a lot of people, I mean, all y'all coming to me to talk about HSV, I know that, but at the same time, a lot of y'all have high blood pressure. A lot of you guys have kidney issues. A lot of you guys have liver issues. Or sometimes you know that you have high blood pressure, but you don't know that the problem is actually stemming from your liver and your kidneys, and that it's something that you can easily correct through just changing some things in your diet and your lifestyle. So yes, you can knock out diabetes, high blood pressure, and HSV when you come into the program. But I want to teach you right now why it is that you are having issues with your blood pressure. Why is your blood pressure high? Okay, so visceral fat also secretes this other hormone. Okay, it's a hormone, it's an enzyme. It's called adipokines. Okay, and it impairs your insulin sensitivity in your tissues, such as your liver and your muscle. Okay, this increases the expansion and the deposits of fat. So when your visceral fat secretes this enzyme, this hormone, what is happening is that it's causing the expansion of your organs. Okay, it's causing your liver to expand, it's causing your kidneys to expand. So your kidneys actually expand with fat. All right. The visceral fat, having too much visceral fat leads to fatty liver, and it also leads to problems with your kidneys, kidney disease. And your high blood pressure is tied to your liver function first and foremost. It's tied to your liver function first and foremost. And visceral fat is also tied to liver function too. I'm going to break that down. We're going to get to that. Okay. So visceral fat also secretes another hormone. Okay, this one is angiotensinogen. Angiotensinogen. And this causes the blood vessels to constrict. Okay, this is going to cause your blood vessels to constrict and harden. Once the visceral fat starts to secrete this hormone, that's what's going to cause your blood vessels to constrict and harden. Okay, we're going to talk about how the visceral fat got there in a moment. But first, let me tell you what the visceral fat is doing in your body and how the visceral fat is causing the diabetes and also causing your high blood pressure. Even if you're like, well, I don't have diabetes, I just got high blood pressure. All of this is happening at the same time. And if you don't have diabetes now, but you got high blood pressure, trust me, you have diabetes on the way. It's on the way because all of this is tied into one big old system of, it's a big clusterfuck happening all together. Okay, so visceral fat produces less, these words, adiponectin. And this hormone, because I've been telling y'all about these hormones, and I don't like to say them because I read them, but I don't say them out loud. So I practice a little bit on saying them out loud so that, you know, you guys know the names of these things. So this hormone right here causes vasodilatory effects. Okay, so it's causing dilation. That's what it does. But because you have visceral fat and too much of it, you're not having this reaction. Okay, you're having a lessened effect of diaponectin. So your vasodilatory system that your body has is not working. Okay, so it's not able to dilate. It's going to constrict. That's what's happening. So this is reduced levels of diaponectin can contribute to endothelial dysfunction and elevated blood pressure. So endothelial is the cells that line the blood vessel, and it also lines your lymphatic vessels as well. Okay, and it controls like the flow of substances in and out of, it's the barrier. So epithelial, that is barrier cells. Everybody who follows me for HPV and HSV, we talk about epithelial cells. Those are the barrier cells. So the epithelial cells that's in the blood vessels and also in your lymphatic vessels is compromised by this function, okay? And that is leading to high blood pressure because your blood vessels are constricting, okay? That's being caused by a hormone being released by the visceral fat. That's that hard fat, okay? Some people are saying they big bone, that's that big bone fat. That big bone fat, that solid fat, that hard fat, that's visceral fat. And the visceral fat is a part of like an endocrine system. So it releases hormones, and it's releasing hormones that is causing your blood vessels to constrict and harden. It's messing with your lymphatic system as well, the epithelial cells that's lining your lymphatic system, okay? And your blood vessels is also having an effect on your kidneys, but we're about to get to that, okay? Because your kidneys is tied into this whole situation too. Okay, it's tied into this entire situation. So you say you're borderline diabetic because of your height and weight. You're 5'10", 205, but you're not fat. The doctor says that you should be 165, but your wife says that's high school weight. So this is the thing. It is a certain type of fat. It's the visceral fat. So visceral fat is a harder type of fat. And the fluffy fat, the soft fat is more associated with people saying, oh, I'm fat. And you'll see, just soft jelly rolls. But there's this hard fat that doesn't show up as looking so fat. That's the visceral fat. And that's causing you have fat buildup around your organs. So that's why you're pre-diabetic. You have fat buildup is behind the muscle. It's not in front of the muscle. So whereas you may look just, you may look 210, you're 2'5", you're 5'10". I kind of can see how you look just based on how my man look, and I know his height and his weight. So you may be solid. You might just be solid, but it's still the wrong type of fat. So if you lose the visceral fat, then you will no longer be pre-diabetic. Ashe. Ashe. Okay. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. So, let's see. So the visceral fat makes your body insulin resistant. It changes the way your body regulates blood sugar levels and leads to increased insulin production. So the visceral fat is leading to you producing more insulin than you need to, okay? Visceral fat produces inflammatory molecules, cytokines. Okay, so visceral fat is causing inflammation. It's producing these cytokines in your body and also a C-reactive protein. Okay, and this is linked to inflammation. This is how the visceral fat is causing inflammation. Now, once you have chronic inflammation, that leads to artery stiffness and reduces nitric oxide production, which contributes to high blood pressure. Okay, so maybe your doctor has talked to you about you having low nitric oxide levels. All of that is leading to high blood pressure. Okay, high blood pressure is stiffening the arteries. So there's several different factors. There's several different hormones and enzymes being released that is causing the stiffening of the blood vessels. It ain't the salt. The salt is not the problem. But we're about to get to the salt issue because salt is a part of it, but salt is not the cause. Salt is just kind of like, it's a part of the chain reaction. Certain things got to happen before the salt becomes a problem. So these are the things that are happening before salt becomes a problem. So now we're getting into the kidneys, and this is getting into the whole salt issue. So visceral fat alters the kidneys, okay, causing the size of the cells and the organ to grow and expand with fat deposits. So there will be fat deposits in your organs like your liver, fat deposits in the pancreas, fat deposits in the kidneys, and it causes it to expand. So that also, that's an inflammatory response. That's inflammation. Okay? So you got inflammation happening there. That's contributing to high blood pressure, but I'm about to tell you how. So visceral fat activates the RAAS system, the RAS system, okay? And this increases the production of aldosterone, okay? Aldosterone. It increases the production of aldosterone. That is a hormone. How you pronounce it, knowing the name of the hormone, maybe it's important, maybe it's not so important to you guys, but I'm telling you the name of it because I tell y'all these hormones and enzymes is causing the issue. So these are the names of it. Aldosterone is the name of the hormone that is being released, and because the RAAS, the RAS system, has been activated. Okay, it's like a distress system. Like we're in distress, activate. We got to start the first, like the first responders, the first line of defense for the kidneys. Okay. First chain reaction and things that's happening. Okay, so aldosterone, that causes the sodium reabsorption by the kidney. So once the RAAS, the RAS system, is activated, then your kidneys start to reabsorb sodium. Okay, it's reabsorbing the sodium. So it gets sodium the first time, and then it's like, hold on, let me get that back. So then it reabsorbs the sodium. This sodium retention expands the blood volume. So it increases the volume of blood, okay? It increases your blood volume, which elevates blood pressure. So now we're talking about your blood pressure, okay? Your blood pressure is elevated because your kidneys are retaining, so not only is it retaining sodium, it's reabsorbing the sodium and retaining the sodium, okay? Which is increasing your blood volume and expanding the vessels. We're trying to expand, but it's too doggone tight. So this is the chain reaction that's actually happening inside your body. Okay, elevating your blood pressure. Okay, next, excess visceral fat reduces renal sodium excretion. So if you have excess visceral fat, if you have too much of that visceral fat that we're talking about, okay, too much of it is going to reduce the renal sodium excretion. So that means releasing the sodium. Your renal system is your kidneys, okay? Anything when we're talking about the renal system or renal anything, we're talking about kidneys. So your kidneys are not releasing the sodium. It's holding on to the sodium, okay? Visceral fat is also linked to sleep apnea. It's also linked to sleep apnea. And that's due to oxygen deprivation. You're deprived of oxygen. Those fat cells, you have cells in your body that's deprived of oxygen. And you have moments through the night where you actually stop breathing. That's due to you not having oxygen. But I'm not going to just tell you, oh, oxygen deprivation, and just make everything so general. I'm telling you exactly where you are deprived in the oxygen, so that you're not trying to do all kind of foolish things to get oxygen to a place where that oxygen can't even get there from that. You can go and drink all the DMSO you want to, and you're in hydrogen peroxide, and you're not going to get oxygen to those fat cells, because those fat cells are out of the reach of blood vessels, and blood vessels carry the oxygen throughout your body. So it's not that your blood is under oxygenated, it's that your fat cells that you have been, we're going to get to what's going on with these visceral fat cells, where it is that the visceral fat comes from, because that's important to know where it is that it came from. Let's see, I look solid with a little stomach as if I did 10 years. Does running help to reduce this, or should I lift weights, which causes me to become bigger? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what it is that you need to do to lose that visceral fat. It's going to come up in this little write-up that I wrote up to prepare for you guys for this. My wife thinks I have sleep apnea, so this is tied together. So if you fix this problem, then you will actually fix this undiagnosed sleep apnea that your wife believes you have. Okay, so let's keep going. Now I only got like a few lines left. Okay, so the liver sends excess toxins. Now we're at it now. This is the reason. The liver sends excess toxins that are not efficiently metabolized or eliminated from the body to visceral fat. Okay, the liver sends excess toxins. So if you have excess toxins in any capacity, wherever these excess toxins are coming from, I'm gonna tell you where they're coming from. But wherever these excess toxins are coming from, they are not efficiently metabolized because they are excess, meaning they are in abundance, meaning it's too much. You got too much toxins that you are getting into your body in some form or fashion, which we will discuss. And you are not efficiently metabolizing them out. You're not eliminating them from your body. Your liver is the guy that's sitting into that visceral fat. It's the liver that's doing it. Your buddy in there, the liver. She's the one that's sending the toxins to the visceral fat, because the liver is what processes toxins in your body. Okay? The liver processes toxins in your body. Got it? Okay. So if the detoxification pathways in the liver become overwhelmed, your liver is overwhelmed. Okay? You have detoxification pathways. Your body is made to detox on its own. The medical industry knows it. Everybody who knows anything about medicine knows that your body, naturally, your liver is what detoxes you. Okay? So as you eat food, okay, that's one way. As you eat food, as you breathe air, as air touches your skin and passes through your skin, the chemicals in our environment, the foods that we eat, the products that we use to wash our clothes and clean our homes, all of that is contributing to the toxins that's inside of our body. But the main problem that you're having here is going to be with toxins in food. That's going to be the main problem, but we're going to get to that. Let me tell you, let's keep going. Okay, so the detoxification process in your pathways in your body are being overwhelmed by toxins, and if the toxins are persistent and not easily metabolized, okay, so if the toxins are persistent and not easily metabolized, they can be stored in visceral fat cells. So what I'm saying here is that you are persistently ingesting toxins that are not easily metabolized, and they're being stored in the visceral fat. Okay, they're being stored in the visceral fat because they're not easily metabolized. What are things that are not easily metabolized by the body? Okay, unnatural things. Okay, for example, I'm gonna give you an example. Let's take a standard multivitamin. We'll say one a day. Okay, one a day is a synthetic vitamin. It's not real natural vitamin A. It's synthetic laboratory made vitamin A. Okay, when I was working in restaurants, I had the pleasure of meeting a doctor who worked at Tulane University, and his job was actually, once they discover the enzyme or the active enzyme ingredient in an herb that can reverse an issue, an ailment. His job is to create the synthetic version of that to prepare it to be in pharmaceuticals. So that was a wonderful experience on my path. Don't fall, please don't fall. Okay, so anyways, so with pharmaceuticals, or I don't want to say pharmaceuticals. Let's just say like a regular over the counter like supplement. Just your regular multivitamin. You taking that multivitamin, your body only absorbs about 20% of it. Between 10 and 20% of that multivitamin is going to be absorbed. The rest of it, the other 80 to 90%, is going to be thrown out as junk. Your body does not recognize it. It doesn't absorb it. It don't even want it. Okay? It doesn't even want it. It is recognized as an excess toxin. So that's why when you take your one-a-days or your standard multivitamins, your urine smells like pills, doesn't it? When you take medications, your urine smells like pills. When you take the standard regular, supplements from out of your GNC or wherever, it smells like pills. It smells like the pills you just took. But when you take a natural supplement, say the spirulina that's in the detox, the spirulina chlorella, the wheatgrass, when you take those, your urine does not smell like anything but just normal urine. It does not smell like pills. Your urine is not pungent. It's normal because your body actually absorbs 80% to 90% of these supplements that are whole food supplements, and it discards what it doesn't need, which would be the excess 10 to 20%. Okay? So if you're ingesting too many artificial substances, let's think of some other artificial things other than the supplements, like your one-a-days and biotins and all of that stuff, the artificial prenatals. Let's think of some other things. How about artificial sugars, artificial sweeteners? When you buy products that says sugar-free, 0 calories, those products contain artificial sweeteners. That's why it's sugar-free and sugar-free and 0 calories, but it tastes sweet. It tastes sweet, but there's no sugar in it. Sometimes it's sweetened with stevia. It'll say it's sweetened with stevia, and it might say and other natural flavors, okay? Which can be highly debatable what other natural flavors are. Other natural flavors are highly debatable as to what those natural flavors are. I've done research and posted those videos in the past on my YouTube, but I had to take them down. Had to take them down. They were saying a little too much. I had broke down what those codes or what those ingredients actually mean and found out the actual ingredients, and I don't think I could say it no more. I guess if anybody's here in my who's on my app, if you're on my app, don't make her fly because the ceiling fans are on and it's too hot to turn them off.
Yeah, I'll turn it off.
Sorry, my bird.
No.
She can't be up there. It's too dusty. Get a broom and just like put the broom by her to make her fly from up there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So anyways, back to what we're talking about. Sorry about that. So eating too much sugar, artificial sugars, okay? Let me see. But is it okay? Spirulina and stuff over the counter powdered or whole. I don't mean over the counter as in like, what I mean, okay, so I think you misunderstood what I was saying, okay? Spirulina and chlorella are natural supplements. You can get them over the counter. They're definitely not going to be prescribed, okay? It doesn't matter if you get the powdered spirulina or if you get the pills. I sell the pills because when you use the powders, it's still going to be left all on side the glass, or on the sides of your cups. And with the pills, you don't have to worry about it being on side. Please be careful. You don't have to worry about it being on side of the cup and missing all those good vitamins, okay? Go tell Puppy to do it, okay, baby? Or tell Charlie. She's tall enough. Okay. So that's the reason why we do the pills instead of doing the powders, which originally I started with the powders, but the company I'm using is the #1 spirulina chlorella producer in the entire world. So you can trust their pills. They don't have any like the pill filler powder and all of that stuff. They don't have any filler. It's just the straight spirulina chlorella. Okay, so let's keep going. Okay, visceral fat. All right, we're talking about the foods that are causing, that is the excess toxins that are persistent and can't be metabolized, okay? So your liver is struggling. The reason why you have high blood pressure, just to catch people up that's new here, use the end of the broom just to get her to move, okay? Don't hit her or nothing, just be careful with her. I don't want her to fly into that ceiling fan. Okay, so the reason why you are having high blood pressure is because your liver is struggling. Your liver is being overloaded with toxins that it cannot process. Your detoxification pathways in your liver is overloaded, so your liver sends it to the fat cells. It's going to send it to the visceral fat, which is the hard fat, which is leading. That is what's causing you. The visceral fat is what's causing you the high blood pressure and the diabetes, not salt. Salt is not doing it. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Okay, so what else is causing this issue? Potato chips. Are you eating too much potato chips? Are you eating too much potato chips? Bag popcorn? Even having too many. They're not even real granola bars. It's basically like candy because it's so doggone sweet. It's got so much sugar in it. But like these Nutri-Bars and stuff like that, are you consuming too much of that? Because that's something that can overload your detoxification pathways. Okay? That's gonna overload your please. Are you having too much of this yummy, delicious Snapple that my daughter's about to bring me? Because it has a high sugar content. The sugar content is too doggone high. If you're having too much of that, that is some of the stuff that's overloading your detoxification pathways. And I'm going to show you that this Snapple says that it's 100% natural. But this Snapple can still lead to this issue because it has a high amount of sugar. So whatever you are over consuming, are you over consuming meat? I'm not telling you got to be vegetarian. I'm not a vegetarian, but are you overly consuming it? What is it that you are overdoing in your diet? What is it that you're doing that you can cut out of your diet? Okay? So I'm going to answer this question for you, health determination. But I'm going to get to that in a second. So what are the things that you are overly consuming that are not the best for you? I want you to overconsume salads. That would be excellent. Can we do a salad a day? Ranch dressing is what you're over consuming? Okay, so I was over consuming ranch dressing at one point too because I love salads. I eat a salad. Well, I try to eat a salad every day. Okay, I try to. I'm not always able to. But you eat a salad every day too. I started to really decrease the amount of salad dressing that I was putting on my salads. Really decrease the amount of salad dressing that I put on my salads. Okay? Because the salad dressings, they are high in calories. Some salad dressings are a little higher. And, you know, if you're getting like a raspberry dressing, it's going to be higher in sugar. But the salad dressing, yes, that is a bit of an issue. But the bigger issues is going to be the potato chips. Okay? The candy, the sodas, the Snapple that I never got from out the refrigerator. That tastes so delicious, but you can't drink that all the time. Those are the things that's leading to you having this visceral hard fat. Now, what are some other things that are contributing to toxins that our liver has to sort through? Okay? Because the liver is responsible for detoxing the body, for getting the environmental toxins and the food toxins out of our body. How about the chemicals in our home? How about the chemicals in our home? What are we cleaning our homes with? What are the products that we are using to clean our homes with? Are we using bleach and ammonia still? Products that contain those bleach and ammonia. I'm going to tell you right now how you can make your own cleaner that is really, really great for a surface cleaner and for your windows. Now, you can use whatever herb that you want to use. I like to use lavender, but I'm about to start experimenting with some other herbs. So I take my raw lavender buds. I get these lavender buds on Amazon, I get a couple big old bags of them. I can't remember how many pounds. It might be like 2 pounds of lavender buds that I get. And I'll take the lavender. I usually measure out, I think maybe like a third of a cup of lavender buds, and I put it in my little small pot, you know, the little small pot that comes in your pot set. I put that in there with some water and I boil it. Okay, I boil it. It makes my house smell really, really pretty. Okay, it doesn't smell like lavender perfume or lavender spray. Like the real lavender from the lavender buds, that scent is really, really pleasant for people who don't care very much for lavender. Okay, so the other thing is, so I take that lavender water that I just made. So I just made lavender floral water, and I will strain it. I strain it, and then I put it into a spray bottle. And in that spray bottle, I'm gonna add some rubbing alcohol. I add a little bit of Dr. Bronner's, just a little bit of Dr. Bronner's, because a little bit of that goes a long way. And we don't want the countertops to be soapy, and we don't want the windows to be soapy. So I add maybe drops, however many drops, I can't remember because I eyeball it. I just squeeze. It's probably more than drops. But anyways, maybe a couple tablespoons of Dr. Bronner's. And this is a large spray bottle that I'm using. About that big. It might be about, it's like the big old spray bottle that's like in Walmart or whatever. So to that I add, I have my lavender floral water in there. I have my rubbing alcohol in there. And then I also have a little bit of Dr. Bronner's in there. And that is the spray that I'm using to wipe down my countertops. It smells good and it cleans very well. I also use it to clean my windows, clean my mirrors, and it works great. So you don't have to use those harsh chemicals. I use it to clean my stove. I have like an electric stove with that, you know, that top, that flat, I don't know what the top is called. It's the flat top, the black top, okay? And it's good for cleaning that. It's really good for cleaning all surfaces, okay? Really good. And that right there should replace, you don't need to use bleach. You don't need to use bleach. Vinegar is a great bleach replacement. You should go online and type in on Google comparison. Compare using bleach and vinegar to cleaning your home. But I don't really even use much vinegar to clean my home anymore, other than mopping the floors. But I make this cleaner that I just told y'all about. We got to cut out the bleach. We got to cut out the bleach products, and we have to cut out the ammonia products. And if you have anyone in your home who has asthma, they will greatly appreciate it because their asthma symptoms will start to go away as well. Okay? Most of the time when somebody contacts me and it's like, my child is, has been very asthmatic, they had an asthma attack, I don't want to keep, having the albuterol and all of this stuff, this and the other. I want to know what can I naturally do to help my child with the asthma, or help my so-and-so with the asthma. And I asked them, well, when your child or so-and-so had that flare-up, did you recently do a big cleanup in your house where you cleaned up everything, all the rooms, like a Sunday cleanup? Did y'all have a big cleanup, and were you using bleach and or ammonia products? Because if you're using bleach down here to clean your kitchen, but in your bathroom you're spraying an ammonia spray, which a lot of times we don't think about. We're spraying an ammonia spray in the bathroom, and then we're using bleach in the kitchen. Bleach and ammonia creates a toxic chemical in the air. So we're not thinking about that, but that's the reason why our loved ones are having these asthma flare-ups, because whereas you're not mixing them, taking bleach and ammonia and doing like that, pouring them together, but you're using them in different areas of your house and they're combining. You need more airflow in your home, okay? So that will help with the whole asthma situation. Let me answer some of these questions. I took 9 pills of zinc, 50 milligrams yesterday because I was itchy, thinking it would help. It did, but now my stomach is hurting. What should I do? I checked my urine. My pH is 5 point something. Okay, I took 9 pills of zinc, 50 milligrams yesterday because I was itching. So I actually have more questions. I have more questions for you about that before I could actually tell you what to do. And beware of people who just outright want to just throw out, like they don't get the whole story from you and they just want to throw out a solution right away, because they could be telling you to do something that might be potentially harmful or just don't make no damn sense to what you're dealing with. So I need more information from you to find out not just why you took 9 pills of zinc, but what was like the thought pattern or process that led you to taking the 9 pills of zinc. I want to know what you were eating. Are you on the protocol? Are you not on the protocol? Yeah, and what you're eating, because I need to know all of that to be able to tell you what I think you should do. about that situation. And you say you check your urine pH and your urine pH is a 5 point something. So really, that is an issue that's in the kidneys. Okay, that's the urinary tract system. When you test your urine pH, you are testing your urinary tract system. You are not testing your entire body. That's not your body pH. There's no such thing as a body pH because there's not even a way to measure a body pH. There's no way to say my body is alkaline or my body is acidic because your body has so many different systems happening at once, and part of the process is alkaline, part of the process is acidic, and your brain need acid, folic acid. There's just so much that it's just so your urine pH is a 5 point something. It is indicating that your kidneys, your urinary tract system may be struggling and you may be overloading it. And that may be why your urine pH is so low, because you're overloading it. You may be over supplementing, like what I was just talking about, taking too many over-the-counter supplements, and your body, your liver in particular, not just your body, but your liver is like, hell with this. Hell with this. Visceral fat. Send it to the fat cells. I'm tired of this. I done got so much of this. She keep giving it to me. Send it to the fat cells. And that's what's happening. Okay? So you got to detox and detox right. I don't know if you're on the detox, but you can reach out through premium chat, or you can ask more questions while we're here on the live so I can get more information about that. Now, let's see. And is visceral fat that fat that's on your organs? Yes. So visceral fat is the fat that is clogging up your organs. It's making the organs expand. So if you're consuming too much of something, that visceral fat is depositing in your kidneys, and it's causing your kidneys to swell. Okay? The kidneys are actually swelling, and at the same time, that causes the kidneys to activate the RAS system, the RAAS system, which is causing you to reabsorb the sodium that's passing through your kidneys. It reabsorbs it, and then it holds on to it. And then that causes the hardening of the blood vessels. So that's when you have the start of hypertension. Yes. Thank you very much, Carlos. All right, my issue is eating sweets, too many Klondike bars. So you know what the issue is. You know what the issue is. And now you know it's a simple fix. To reverse the issue that you're going through, to reverse pre-diabetes, all you got to do is stop eating the Klondike bars. And that might be a little hard for you to do right off the rip. I understand. I know, because I just had to give up corn and any product that has corn in it for 30 days. So that means high fructose corn syrup. That means corn starch. It means modified corn starch. It means corn itself. And I would say about a week and a half ago, I was so outdone. I was so outdone with this whole corn fast. And I went into a little gas station. I'm like, I'm so hungry. Like I had to rush. I didn't have time to eat before I left the house. I'm like, what can I eat in this little gas station that does not have corn in it? Okay. So I'm reading the back of every single bag. Tell me why. I had a whole blip in my, I don't know. I glitched. I totally glitched. I ended up with a bag of popcorn because that was the only thing that didn't say corn in the ingredients on the back of the bag. And I was so hungry, and I was so happy it didn't say corn on the bag, that I'm just eating my popcorn. I come home, I'm eating some more of my popcorn, and my husband's like, what's that? And I'm like, yeah, this is the only thing in the store that didn't have corn on the back of the bag. He's like, it's popcorn. And I'm like, how could you be so smart and just a total blonde moment. But it was difficult, and it is still difficult, and I'm not done with my 30 days. I'm like 3 days away from my 30 days. I'm almost done with my 30 days of no corn and no corn products. And yes, I made some mistakes along the way. And I think that it's okay that I made some mistakes along the way. And I'm saying that because you're going to make some mistakes along the way, and being deprived of that one thing can cause you to inadvertently glitch a little when it comes to those things, because your body really wants it. It's used to it. So it's going to try to figure out ways to still kind of get it in, to get it in. And when I tell you everything got doggone corn in it, everything. got corn in it. I have been a from scratch in the kitchen person for these past 27 days. I have a serious sweet addiction that developed in Afghanistan. Lifting weights from time to time is what hides the fat in the fat man in me. Yeah, so you've been converting fat into muscle, and that's hiding it and holding it in, but you're still having fat deposits around your organs, which is causing you to be pre-diabetic. So all you got to do is start to curb the sugar. You have to curb the sugar, okay? You got to curb the sugar. So if you need help curbing the sugar, you might actually need a coach. You might need a program to join to curb the sugar. It's on you, though. Can you do it by yourself? Can you and your wife create some type of structure in your home to where you are foregoing sugar, creating your own plan? You can come up with your own plan. You can write it down, what it is that you want to do. But if you're struggling with that, I do have a program that's tailored to helping you remove that sugar, and you can reduce that diabetes. You can reverse that thing in just a few weeks. Won't even take long. Reverse it in a few weeks. Done. But in the process, you're also going to not crave sugar like you used to. And if you go back to eating sugar again, the sugar is not going to taste the same. It won't be as enjoyable. It's just not. Ask people who was on my detox. Anybody who's done my detox for, let's say you did the detox for a month, at least a month, 3 weeks to a month or longer. When you broke the detox, when you broke the fast and you went back to eating regular, was it as enjoyable? Was the sugar as sweet as you thought it was, as it was before? Or did it lose some of its luster, lose some of its enjoyment and some of its light? Because I know from doing the sugar fast, I reduced the amount of meat that I eat. I'm still a meat eater, but I significantly reduced my craving for meat by doing a sugar fast. So you said I sneak and eat sweets on my way home in my car, high stress job. I understand you, because I used to sneak and eat Wendy's on my way home from my job when I used to work. And it was a high stress job too. I used to sneak and eat Wendy's on my way home from work and try to throw it away in a dumpster or something before I got home. For the evidence, roll the window. Look, I'm so old. I said roll the windows down. When the last time you see somebody do this to roll a doggone windows down? I'm sitting here telling my age. A lot of y'all don't even know what this means. That's when you had to manually roll the windows down. But yeah, rolling the windows down to let the little Wendy's air out. Just in case my husband wanted to run to the gas station or something when I got home from work. But this is the thing. Is it gonna take for you to be in between a rock and a hard place for you to change? Is it gonna take for your doctor to say, hey, we gotta take your toe? Your doctor say, look, you're gonna have to come up off that toe. I'm sorry, but they probably don't even say I'm sorry. They say, well, you know what? You know, we've been talking to you for a while now, telling you need to change your diet because you're pre-diabetic, you know, trying to tell you what you need to do. You need to lose your weight, you need to lose some weight. They don't really tell you to change your diet. You need to lose a little weight, watch your diet. You know, now I'm going to have to take your toe. I'm going to have to take your toe. That's like the first step in diabetes. That's the first step to the end. Once they take that toe, once they take that toe, that's it. They just gonna start cutting higher and higher and higher. Next thing you know, you're in a hospice and you're gone. That's what happened to my aunt, which was like a grandmother to me. Yep. I remember being at her house and her slapping her leg, and I'm like, you want me to slap it too? She was like, it just hurts so bad. They put stents in her leg. And she wasn't fat either. She wasn't fat. She was very petite, but she was over consuming something. Remember what we said? We said that it is the detoxification pathways in the liver that is persistently being overloaded with a particular toxin, and your liver is tired of it. Your liver has an attitude with you now. Your liver is like, I'm done with you. I'm done with this. I'm sending that shit to the visceral fat. I'm not dealing with it no more. So that is what's happening. That is why you're becoming more and more insulin resistant. That's what leads to you having like full-blown diabetes instead of just being pre-diabetic. So building all of that up, Your body don't know how to get rid of it. It doesn't, it's done. Your liver is done. It's like, I'm tired. I need a break. So after a while, those blood vessels start to tighten up. They start to constrict. I just told y'all all the hormones. In the beginning of this, I told y'all all the hormones that was being emitted from the visceral fat, because the visceral fat is releasing these hormones. The visceral fat is a part of the endocrine system. So it's releasing these hormones that's activating different mechanisms in your body. It's distorting the epithelial function in your cells, which means that your cells, that's the barrier. That's the barrier of your blood vessels. If the blood vessels are, the epithelial barrier is compromised, then that means that things can cross that blood barrier. Things can cross into your blood. Okay? Other toxins. That's important. This is serious. This is serious. So we need to help our body detoxify, but we also need to cut out the things that we are doing that's causing our body to struggle. You got to cut it. Last week, it was ice cream, Snickers. Now it's peanut butter, chocolate, animal crackers. Oh, Lord. You going all the way in. You going all the way in. So you said that you developed that sweet tooth while you were in Afghanistan. And I could see why, because being in that type of stress and pressure, you needed a dopamine hit. So you're getting your dopamine hit from that sugar right there. Okay? So that means that you need to actually make changes in your life so that you can get dopamine from other areas of your life. Okay? So you are experiencing maybe an understimulated life in the fashion of you're not getting the enjoyment from life that you truly seek, and you're using these foods as a crutch for that enjoyment, when you really need to look at the things that you enjoy in your life. Make a list. What do I like? If in a perfect world, what would I be doing? If I didn't have to worry about money, what would I be doing right now? What would I do with myself? Or after I've had my time to relax and do nothing, and I'm tired of doing nothing, then what would I do? So we need to change our food dependencies, because it's the food dependency that's causing us, and it's unhappy feelings that's causing us to run to these things that are giving us dopamine hits, whether it's weed, or whether it's the sugar, or whether it's the caffeine. But we're running to these stimulants. Sugar is a stimulant. It's a stimulant. That's raw energy. Our body reduces every time you eat something. Your body burns it down to its simplest sugars, and it uses that for energy. So it stimulates us. So it's time for us to find a different shift, and let's choose what we want to stimulate us. Let's choose our stimuli, instead of us just being like, if you go on Instagram and it's constant stimulus, and that's why Instagram becomes addictive, because it's constant dopamine hit, and then that has negative effects on our brains, on our psyches, on our self-esteem, on our perceptions. So it's the same way with the sugar. So what is it going to take for you to go ahead and cut that sugar out your life? At what point do you have to get? How bad does it have to get for you to cut the sugar out? How bad does it have to get? That's what you got to decide. How bad does it have to get for you to cut the sugar out? Hey, Desirable Sweets, thanks for the badge, sweetie. Thanks for the badges. Blossom, can you hand me that Amazon bag right there, please? I know you got your nails on. These children over here cutting straws and putting it on it. Let me see your nails. Blossom over here doing nails. She got the straws. Say hi, Blossom.
Hi.
Hi. Blossom over here cutting straws for nails. Okay, let's see. How many days while you ain't, I just wanted to say, okay. How many days should we fast for? So I have a 7-day sugar fast. My aunt sugar fast for months. I have people who do my sugar fast, and they will stay on the sugar fast for weeks, just getting themselves ready to do the full detox. So you can sugar fast however long you want to, but I recommend going for 7 days. And even if you don't make it, you still will benefit from it. Do it again. Let yourself rest up and just wait another month and do it the next month. Okay? I was doing sugar fast for like 3 or 4 months in a row last year, And I don't think I ever made it to the full 7 days. I think I made it to 6 days was the most that I made it to. But every time I did it, I got better. And I significantly benefited from doing the sugar fast. I really benefited. Like, for one thing, because we're losing the visceral fat in the sugar fast, which in the visceral fat is releasing all of these hormones in our body. And you know that a woman's menstrual cycle is heavily affected by hormones. There's different hormones that's released in the body that causes you to have a menstrual cycle. Well, from doing that sugar fast and losing some of that visceral fat that I had, it caused my menstrual cycle to cut down in half. Instead of 8 days, 4 days. I think I was like around 7, 8 days. It wouldn't be heavy the whole time, but it was lasting pretty long. It was a long ass period. And it ain't supposed to be that long. And then also decreasing the pain with the menstrual cycle, less PMS, lighter menstrual flow. It was pretty heavy. It was pretty heavy. Yeah. I had to think back because that was a while ago, and it's been a while since I have not been that heavy. But it was so heavy at one point, I had to wear an adult diaper, okay? Adult diaper, because it was that doggone heavy. Adult diaper with a pad. That's how bad, okay? That's how bad it was. So, do the sugar fast, and you will get better. So let's see what other questions we got here. Let's see, Leah Moore. My friend deals with liver issues and constant swelling in the stomach. Doesn't consistently eat, but when she does, she doesn't eat healthy. She says she takes herbal drops. Okay, so this is what's going on. If you don't eat enough, if you forego eating a lot, when you do finally eat something, it makes you feel sick. Like when you just eat normal food, if you gone without eating, if you starve yourself too much, when you starve yourself too much, which is usually due to like some sort of depression, when you starve yourself too much, when you go to eat again, your body naturally rejects the food and start to get like a little queasy, nauseous feeling. That's probably what your friend is feeling, that nauseous, queasy feeling. But when you eat potato chips, and like somebody I talked to recently, she was like, all I can eat is potato chips and Sprite. Potato chips and Sprite. And she's having gut issues. So she's like, that's the only thing that soothes my stomach. But it's not just that, is that it's pretty plain. It's pretty bland. Even if you eat potato chips that's got like some seasoning on it, the basis of the potato chip is so plain that it's not really bothering your stomach. But eating potato chips, a potato chip diet, all the potato chip diet is doing is contributing to the toxins. Her liver cannot detox the amount of toxins that she's eating. And then it's causing this visceral fat to release these hormones, okay? And that is why she's having liver issues. She's got to stop eating the potato chips. Somebody contacted me earlier today saying, what do I take for an infection? I was like, go contact the doctor, because that's not how home remedies and natural, I don't even want to say medicine, but just holistic wellness. That's not how holistic wellness works. You don't just take something for an infection. First of all, what infection do you have? What is your lifestyle that led you to getting that infection? What is the diet that you're eating that possibly led you to getting that infection or made you susceptible to contracting that infection? What have you been doing in your life that is causing you to have this infection? Okay, that's the first step. And then we need to remove what you have been doing that's incorrect. And then we need to introduce the remedy that's going to remedy that, that's going to balance that out. Okay, that's how that works. So that's the exact thing that your friend needs to do. She needs to remove the potato chips. And then she needs to interject the right healthy foods that she needs. Herbal drops? Psh. Herbal drops? The herbal drops ain't doing nothing for her. The herbal drops are not doing nothing for her because you can't rely on herbs alone. You can't eat crap and pop herbs. You just can't. It's going to give you minimal relief. It's going to give you minimal symptomatic relief, but it's not going to fix the problem of her liver consuming too many toxins and her liver taking those toxins and sending it to the visceral fat. So liver issues, that's the first step. That's the first step of what she's going to experience. If she continues like that, not only is she going to lead to leaky gut issues, because this is going to lead to her having leaky gut if she continues with that. And then, I mean, all of these gut issues, there's so many different names that they have: ulcerative colitis, GERD, all of these different names for it, when it's the same doggone problem. You could just call it gut issues. You just got gut issues. That's intestine. That means that your intestine lining is messed up. Your intestines is not breaking down your food right. It's not absorbing it right. The lining of your intestines is jacked up. Okay? But what causes that is a release of hormones. You got a release of hormones that's being released from visceral fat that's causing all of these things to go wrong in the body. So, and you say that she has an ulcer as well. I didn't even see that. And I said the whole leaky gut thing. And I didn't even read the next post, the next comment that you have here. But yes, that is a problem. That's a problem. Okay? So ask your friend, how long does she have to suffer before she decides to actually truly do something about it? Because I can help her do something about it. And because you know my protocol, you can help her do something about it too. You can help her do something about it too. Okay? But tell her to contact me if she's interested in getting done with it, getting over it and getting done with it. Like, over and done, not dealing with it no more. Sooner than later. Okay, now you say even from real sugar, fasting from real sugar. Yes, we want to fast from real sugar too, because you can overload yourself with real sugar as well. Yes, you can overload yourself with real sugar. And the thing is, the reason why you can overload yourself with real sugar, and look, a lot of people like to say that, oh, she just, no sugar, no sugar, no sugar. That's only during the detox. But I do buy my kids lots of fruit. We are a fruit-loving household, okay? Fruit is best eaten for breakfast. That's what I love to give my kids in the breakfast. In the beginning of the day, I give them fruit early in the day. I don't like them to eat fruit later on in the evening because I don't want them to still have that energy high, okay? I need them to come down some so we can get ready for bed. But let's talk about this fruit, because we just said that if you are overloading your body with something, then your liver does not like that, and it sends the excess to the fat cells, okay? That's what it's going to do. It's going to send it to the fat cells. If you are consuming too much fruit sugar, if you're consuming too much anything, but including too much fruit sugar, then yes, it's going to send that too. It's going to send it there too. And it's going to become a part of that visceral fat. When your liver is overloaded and it's had enough and it's done, it sends it to the visceral fat. Okay? So, yes, we don't want to overload ourselves. And this is the problem with too much fruit sugar now. The problem is that our fruit has been changed to be sweeter than it originally was. So we're dealing with hyper sweet fruit. I cannot eat grapes no more. I can't eat them no more. They don't have a tang to them like they used to. It's straight sugar. It's straight sweet. And it's too much of it hurt my stomach. It just hurts my stomach. So you have to make sure that you're eating low glycemic fruit. I eat fruit, not on my detox. While you're on my detox, there's no fruit. And that's why the detox works so fast. Okay? Because there's no fruit on the detox. All right? But when you're not on a detox, just eat fruit. And if you have HSV, eat fruit that are high in lysine, low in arginine. There's a free list that's on my app, tarasdetox.mn.co. Just use a magnifying glass and type in lysine. Okay, and the food list will come up. And there's fruit on that food list. There's vegetables on that food list. Meat is high in lysine, low in arginine. Different foods on there for people with HSV. No, they're not going to some people might be able to get to negative on a fluke with that, but it's not designed to get you to negative. It's just foods that's not going to cause you to get outbreaks, okay? It's foods that are known to reduce the amount of arginine. Arginine is what's used to produce the cell coating of the herpes virus, okay? Watermelon juice. I love watermelon juice too. Make sure you are making your own watermelon juice. Lucci, can you get that bottle of Snapple out the refrigerator for me, please?
What's that?
Snapple is that drink that I'm drinking that has a watermelon and lemon on it. Y'all keep asking me for some. Keep telling y'all no. It's right there next to the colander with that rice. It's a bottle of juice that y'all want to drink. You see that bottle of juice y'all been wanting to drink? Y'all keep asking me for it, and I keep telling y'all no. Is it behind it? Don't drop that glass bottle.
Oh, you think it's melting?
No. Okay, never mind. I can't believe that they can't find this when they have all been like stalking my juice, stalking my juice. Now they don't know what it is. Okay, so, but I was gonna show you. Don't drink that juice. Don't drink that watermelon juice. Drink real watermelon juice, like fresh. Yeah, fresh watermelon juice. Okay, make sure that everybody is choosing fresh watermelon juice because Snapple watermelon, lemon, watermelon limeade is not watermelon juice. Okay, so what do we eat when not eating sugar? I only eat apples and spinach, for real, for real. Well, I have an ebook that you can get. It's only $10. It's my sugar fast ebook. The link should be in the description for my website, tarasdetox.com, and it has a list in there, and it has some recipes for you to eat while you're on the sugar fast. So on the sugar fast, we want to reduce the amount of foods that you're eating because the thing is, we have too much variety of foods. The way that people were in, I would say, I don't want to say like more like ancient times, but like in the past several hundred years, 1,000 years, that's not that ancient when you really look at the history. During that time, people didn't have a huge amount of different things on their diet. They ate the basic same 4 things over and over again. Same foods over and over again. They had to cook that stuff from scratch. Everybody had a cow in their yard and some chickens, okay, during those times. And now we have all of this variety, and it's a lot for our body to process, a lot in our system. So inside the Sugar Fast ebook, I broke it down to some simple foods that you're going to be eating during the sugar fast, and you're going to eat like this. Keep that same pattern for those 7 days. Okay, that same exact pattern. You're going to make those meals using the food list that I provided, so you can mix and match those foods on that list to create the meals. And if you have HSV, make sure if you have HSV and you're trying to do the sugar fast to prepare for the detox, make sure that you don't eat any of the foods on that list that are high in arginine, because there's some high arginine foods on that list too, because the book is not made specifically for people with herpes, even though I have a section in there that helps them use that book. Okay. All right. Maybe some broccoli and potatoes, carrots, quinoa. It's literally all the. So on the sugar fast, we're actually not consuming any quinoa. We're not eating any carrots. We're not eating any potatoes. We're not eating any vegetables that are high glycemic. So carrots are sweet. Carrots are sweet like sweet potatoes. That's why they have like these carrot souffles and like, stop Lou with that. You can make like a carrot souffle. Carrots are hella sweet, very sweet. So we want to cut the carrots out too. We're going to forego the quinoa during this process. We're not even having potatoes during this process. We're going to actually remove all of that during the sugar fast. I don't eat grapes either. Yeah, they're too sweet. And yes, I make my own seeded, in all caps, watermelon juice. Ashe. Where is the lysine arginine food list? Let me type it in. Go to tarasdetox.mn.co. When you go on there and you make your fake, you will make a profile, and you're going to use a nickname. Don't use your real name when you sign up. Use a nickname, because if you want to ask me a question or post a question and you want to be private, use a nickname when you sign up so that you can ask me questions for Q&A day, and without people knowing that it's you asking the question. That way you feel more comfortable. Let me see. Tara, I'm sending this to my friend. Can you please explain why you shouldn't listen to these herbalists all of the time? Well, I don't want to ever rain on anybody's parade, and I feel like everybody's contribution is really valuable, and I see a lot of good being done in the herbalist community. But we want to use our own discernment. I definitely would say pray on it before you just go take advice, and make sure you're getting solid advice and not memes. You know how they have these memes? It has a picture of some foods on there, and it has a caption typed on there that has a really blatant, bold statement, and they'll say something like, these herbs fight cancer, these herbs, da-da-da-da. And then people will actually go and get those herbs, and they don't know how much to use. They don't know which herbs to pair together. They don't know which herbs actually repel each other. And then also they don't know how to invoke the herbs. Okay, so the way that herbalism was done in the past is that there's a special invocation that you say to those herbs to activate it, to align the energies for it to do what it's supposed to do. okay? Because herbalism is actually, in medicine period, is actually a part of a healing period. In cooking period is actually a part of a spiritual practice, where in some cases it might be considered witchy. Being able to cook a good meal, knowing how to add those spices in, knowing how to cook a good meal that can also heal somebody, that's kind of witchy. That's kind of a little bit on the witchcraft side, or a little voodoo-y, or a little indigenous, okay? Because indigenous practices are also spiritual practices. So you have to make sure that you know how to invoke the herbs, pray over the herbs, infuse the herbs with manifestation of what it is that you want to happen. So you should not be just buying random herbs and putting them together based on a meme that you saw online. And then when it comes to herbalism, alchemy, yes, alchemy. When it comes to herbalism, herbalism is not the only way to heal. You can actually just heal through eating foods. And a lot of people are really looking to herbalism as a replacement for pharmaceuticals when it's not. Herbalism is not a replacement for pharmaceuticals. They're completely and totally different. Okay, what we actually need is a holistic lifestyle. When you have a holistic lifestyle, which is what I promote, then that's how you actually heal the whole person. So whereas you might be looking for an herb to help your back pain, an herb to help your eyesight, or an herb to help your kidneys, then you are looking to only target that one thing. But when you do a lifestyle detox, okay, that cleanses your soul. That cleanses your life path. Okay? That opens up the door of opportunities, because you start to see yourself for who you are. You start to build your own self-confidence, because you're also losing some of these toxins, these living toxins, the living toxins in our gut, which are, did you know that the gut is the first thing that's developed? When a baby is developing from that egg, the zygote is splitting and all of that stuff. And when it starts to form from that egg and start to take shape, and you have that first opening up of that lima bean, before that, the gut is the first thing. The gut is created before the brain is even created. Okay? And then your brain splits from your heart. Okay? Your brain splits from your heart. Your heart is created, and your brain splits from your heart. But your gut is super, super hella important. Your gut is a part of your brain system. Your gut controls your thoughts. Have you ever noticed how you tell yourself to do something but you don't do it? You're like, man, I want to quit smoking weed. Let's say I want to quit eating sugar. I want to start working out. And you're like, I'm going to set this plan and I'm going to start doing this. But next thing you know, you're not able to do it. You're sitting there thinking about, like, yeah, I'm supposed to be doing it. I'm just going to take one more second. I'm going to just take 5 more minutes and I'm going to get up and do it. And you're like, damn, too much time passed. I ain't going to do it now. I might do it tomorrow. And then next thing you know, you done forgot about it, because your brain and your body, your brain and your body is actually 2 different systems. That's 2 different systems. Your brain, your thinking, your consciousness, and your body's got its own system. And that's why I don't listen to you all the time. Stop it. Both of y'all stop. Be quiet and stop it. That's why your body does not listen to you. That's why you make plans and you break them. That's why you decide that you want to do a detox, and then you get into the detox and then you stop. Need some water. Okay. All right. So your gut is extremely, extremely, extremely important. And once you start to loosen that bad bacteria, the excess bad bacteria in your gut, your thinking starts to shift. That's how you change the way you think. If you notice that you don't like the way that you think about yourself, and you don't like the amount of negative thoughts that you have, if you're somebody that has a lot of negative thoughts, you have a lot of negative experiences in your life, so you might not be satisfied with your life. Okay? You might find yourself being disappointed or embarrassed by the way that you reacted or something you said. You might find yourself feeling like that often. Okay, and that is your bad bacteria. That's the bad bacteria imposing itself on you, causing you to act in a certain way, to go certain places. You may not feel like going out, and your friend's like, girl, let's go out, let's go get a drink, tear it up. And you're like, I'm tired, like I'm kind of worn down, like I'm feeling some type of way. There's just a lot going on and I don't really feel like going out. But then something in you will have you go out, and you'll be like, all right, fine, I'm gonna go out. Your friend ain't even pressing you about it, but you're like, all right, I'm gonna go out, because that gut bacteria is like, I'm gonna have that sugary alcohol, I'm gonna have that toxic environment with these other spirits, these other entities mixing up in this club, this nightclub. Okay, and we gonna get to mix and mingle with the other spirits. Okay, because these things have a level of consciousness for it to exist in your body. That parasite is moving around your body, deciding where it want to go. The bacteria is colonizing, deciding what it's going to do inside your body. Okay? So we need to loosen these entities from its grasp, from us, from our bodies. We need to loosen it from our bodies. And that is why we need to cut the sugar, because the sugar feeds them. And the fastest way to cut the tie with them, is to remove the sugar, because the sugar is their energy source. Okay? Sugar is the energy source for the parasites and the viruses and the bacteria, the fungus, all that overgrowth of yeast. That's it right there. So let me make sure that I cover my last point that I wanted to make as far as the kidneys, high blood pressure, and the connection with visceral fat, because we are about to reduce, remove, and get rid of high blood pressure, okay? That's what we're doing. Got it? Is everybody in agreement on here that we are about to annihilate high blood pressure? Anybody who has high blood pressure, we're not going to have that no more. That's done. We're done with that. High blood pressure is out of our lives. Anybody who has diabetes or you're pre-diabetic, we're done with that. It's too easy of a fix. Why would you suffer with that when it's so easy to correct? I just summed it up for you. I just summed it up. It probably took me about maybe 45 minutes of this whole talk for me to sum up for you what is happening with your kidneys, your visceral fat, your liver, and that's the reason why you're having high blood pressure, and that's the reason why you're having hypertension, okay? That's the reason why you're having diabetes. So let's go ahead and reduce that. Now let's see. Oh yeah, I finished. My last line I wrote down was, over time, the accumulation of toxins in the visceral fat contributes to increased inflammation, oxidative stress, and metabolic dysfunction, meaning cell dysfunction. So your cells are not going to be performing correctly, and this is the cause of the diseases that reduces your lifespan. This is the cause right here. So we have to take inventory of what we're eating, and what you know you've been eating too much of. We're going to be conscious about removing those things from our diet. And the first step that you need to take is going on the 7-day sugar fast. Join the 7-day sugar fast for free at tarasdetox.mn.co. Can I type it in here? I don't think I type it in here. tarasdetox.mn.co. And that is where you're going to join the 7-day sugar fast for free. Okay? You're going to get your 7-day sugar fast ebook. Go and get your ebook. Get that ebook, because it's going to tell you what you're going to eat throughout those 7 days. And what I'm going to help you do in those 7 days is I'm going to help you troubleshoot and navigate right there, but only at tarasdetox.mn.co, not in my DMs, not in a text message. You can only do that with me right there, okay? My email is support@tarasdetox.com. I got a bunch of emails. I want you to reach out to me at support@tarasdetox.com. And I'm sure I put it in the description of this video. So I know they make it a little weird finding the description, but you'll see like a little arrow or something on there. And it's right under the video. So, yes. So I'm going to see you guys later. And make sure that you get into this sugar fast. You need to do this sugar fast because what are we doing? We are reversing, we're removing, we're getting rid of diabetes, high blood pressure, and all of the stuff that comes along with that. We're saving our toes. We're saving our toes from the big chop, okay? That big diabetes chop. We're saving our toes. We're saving our legs, and we're saving our lives. I'm gonna see y'all later. Bye, y'all.